Now to the latest in the murder trial of tech executive and Cash App founder Bob Lee. This is the second week of the trial. Tech consultant Nima Momeni is accused of stabbing and killing Lee in the early morning hours of April 4th of last year. And today, the defense continued their cross-examination of Momeni's sister. ABC 7 News reporter Melanie Woodrow has been following the story since the beginning and joins us live from the Hall of Justice with the latest. Melanie.
The reason there has been so much attention on this witness, the sister of the man accused of stabbing and killing Bob Lee, is because other than the defendant, Nima Momeni, his sister Hazar Momeni was the last person to see Bob Lee alive. During cross-examination today, Hazar Momeni testified that Bob Lee was using cocaine and ketamine in the days prior to his murder and was, quote, all over the place and acting aggressive. A sharp contrast from what the prosecution's star witness, Bo Mohazabi, Bob Lee's close friend, had previously testified, which was that he didn't see Lee using any drugs prior to his murder. We also got a much different picture of Bo than we had during his own testimony last week. He had testified the only whippet that he did, or hit of nitrous oxide, was one while hanging out with Hazar Momeni, Bob Lee, and Jeremy Boyven. During cross-examination today, Hazar testified Bo, quote, didn't let go of the tank, suggesting that he did more than one hit of nitrous oxide. Hazar also described to Nima Momeni's defense attorneys that a text she sent to Nima the evening of April 4th, in which she said, quote, I'm a bit conflicted about you, was not because of anything having to do with Bob Lee or his murder, but rather that her family had found out Jeremy Boyven, who had allegedly sexually assaulted her, was back at her apartment and her family was chastising her. She told Momeni's defense attorneys that there was no bad blood between Bob and Nima and that they liked each other. On redirect examination this afternoon, however, prosecutors from the DA's office gave example after example in which Hazar Momeni had quickly answered yes today to Nima Momeni's defense attorneys during cross-examination this morning, often before she had necessarily seen the full picture of what they were asking her about as it pertains to surveillance video or text messages. They were almost suggesting that she is agreeing with whatever her brother's defense attorneys asked and calling into question her answers. And that's where we left off today, with redirect well underway. All of this nuance, from who was texting with whom, to who was romantically involved with whom, to who was doing drugs with whom, matters, because any sort of doubt that defense attorneys can put into the prosecution's case could call into question the jury's deliberations and ultimate verdict. This jury will have to decide which witness or witnesses are telling the truth and whether or not their credibility or their ability to remember was impacted by the drugs and alcohol that this friend group was consuming in the days and hours leading up to Bob Lee's murder. Reporting live in San Francisco outside of the Hall of Justice, Melanie Woodrow, ABC 7 News.